Hey YouTube, my name is Chris Ortiz, and I'll be your host for today's video. I'm just to give myself a little introduction. I'm the other side of Agents of Change. We've been kind of been at this for about 4 or 5 years now, and during this whole stay-at-home orders, we decided to give ourselves a platform to reach out to people and to give out our voices for young people. And this week's video is about how COVID-19 is affecting young adults, and more specifically, Asian American youth. And so, without further ado, we're going to go into the video. Okay, so now we're recording. If you want to just give yourself a little mini introduction, just your name, and I would just say just a fun fact about yourself.
Sounds good. Hi, everyone. My name is Tree. I use he, she, they pronouns, and a fun fact about myself is I tell people I'm a punk American or a punk USer because I like punk music, and I live here in the United States. Not all of North America, just these funny states.
Nice, dude. Nice. So we're just gonna ask some basic questions. It's gonna be a lot more COVID-19 related stuff. So first question is, how is COVID-19 treating you, and how are you feeling about the whole thing?
Yeah. Quick question. Are you publishing this as video or audio? I just want to know.
As video, if that's okay.
Great, cool. Yeah, that's great. Just making sure. Since I'm doing a podcast, I gotta tell my guests that we aren't using their videos so that they can be like relaxed.
Yeah.
But we're relaxed. Look at my pink wall. We're relaxed here. We all my garbage in the back. One more time. Question.
Oh, how is COVID-19 treating you? Just everything.
I work as an intern at this place called Green Card Voices, and they focus mostly on immigrant refugee digital storytelling, and some projects that we've been doing in response to COVID-19 and the surge in anti-Asian, one could say xenophobic activity. Xenophobic means like anti-Chinese specifically, because people who look Chinese are being targeted rather than like South Asian,
Gotcha.
Indian, right? Even though like South Asian folks, Indian, Pakistani, Sri Lankan, have been dealing with like anti-Muslim, some Islamophobic stuff, and now it's like we've got now China is the center of like scorn.
Yeah.
So we're making content based on this hashtag campaign we have called hashtag Love Your Asian Neighbors. I recommend everyone to use that when you're posting stuff about like supporting Asians and such. We have a podcast on our Green Card Voices channel. We call it Green Card Voices, the podcast. And we have like 3 interviews out right now. Talking with leaders in the community who identify as some kind of Asian American. And that's been rewarding. I've been able to, we have 2 episodes wrapped, ready to roll out. And we have 1 episode left for this sort of 6-part package. That's been good. What's not been great is moving back with I already was planning to move back with my parents. That wasn't COVID related. But being here, I don't know if it would have been different the way they like tell me to like. They're good people. They know how to materially take care of the family, but like emotionally, they're just like so no EQ or some EQ, but like it's so directed and like towards gaslighting and guilt tripping. I'm here with my siblings, both like 7 years younger than me. I got the parents. It's fine. And then working from home a lot. Just started this new job, but it's like a contracting gig, and so I have to like report my hours based on performance. Fine. At least I'm not paying rent. At least, I have the fortune of not having to be like subject to all the bullshit that's happening with that. I really dodged a fucking bullet with that. And now trying to support people. I've been spending a lot on mutual aid, but that's nothing to like brag about. It's like, yeah, I have the means. I'm okay. I can like share money here and there. And I
Yeah.
encourage folks who are of means of security right now, because that is very valuable right now to share in a posture of generosity as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's all I'm going to share for now, unless you want me to say more.
No, I mean that's perfectly fine. It's just really how are you dealing with all this? But I could totally relate with the parent stuff. My parents definitely aren't like as uh, emotionally connected, and so I don't know how they're dealing with it fine. But I'm currently living here with my girlfriend currently, and it's been so much better. But I always check in with them whenever I can. I always try and check in and see if they need anything, especially towards my siblings who are living with them as well.
Mm.
So I kind of this kind of goes like what you were saying before on how people are treating Asian Americans. How have you personally seen that effect over the past few months? Have you experienced it personally, or how have you seen it? Race prejudice towards Asian Americans. And actually, I have to admit, I learned a new term from you. That it's specifically how it's mostly like Chinese focused.
Targeting Chinese, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have to be honest, I didn't think about that before, but yeah, we want to know like what you've seen it personally, or just from an outside perspective.
I think it's mostly been outside perspective because I run among like left-wing circles, because why would I be among other people? And so I haven't had incidences with outright stuff, but like hearing the shit, except no, I can't believe I forget this because it wasn't like directed towards me. It was a Zoom bomb. So there's a group around here called Coalition of Asian American Leaders. They're a dope group. Everyone out there, check out cal.org. I think that's how it is, CAAL.org. They're doing great work. They're doing their mini Asian stories, their third year of mini Asian stories, where they feature 31 days of local Asians telling like very powerful stories, very personable stories. Check that out. They had a Zoom talk on anti-xenophobia and countering that. And wouldn't you know it, right before the main guest speaker was going to share a very good history crash course on what led us up to this moment, like 6 Zoom bombers came in, like with very like unassuming names like John whatever. I have screenshots, and I'm so glad that the leadership handled it the way they did. They was very like, wow, this is happening over here, and it was intense. Like they kept a freaking face, like to name it simply, anti-black, anti-Semitic, xenophobic, anti-Asian, anti-Hispanic language was used to its fullest and most like reckless degree, just to show like just that was my first exposure to like the extent that people have time to roll that sort of thing out, to inflict that, to intentionally and strategically inflict that on a group, in the cowardly way that they did. And the chat was blocked, so we didn't get to chat the rest of the time, but that's fine. And the entire time the chat was just there static, because we could get rid of the messages, so you could scroll back up and see all these messages.
My goodness.
And yeah,
and it's so funny how it's so much like, because of Zoom and how everyone like went on board with that as soon as this whole thing started, because that's the only way you can meet through anybody really. There may be some other platforms, but I've read the stories and seen news. Thankfully, the meetings I've held, no one was like that. it happened a lot through school, like classroom school stuff, that like people just come in and just bombard them with so much inappropriate responses, and then they just leave.
Shit.
Um, but
Has
yeah,
this happened in your classes? Wait, no. You mean in your friends' classes or something like that? Or
yeah, no. I have a friend who currently is taking a college course online, but they're doing it through Zoom. And they were doing like a lesson on biology, and all of a sudden these three guys come out of nowhere and say a bunch of vulgar stuff and what sucks too is that the teacher has no idea what to do. They're just as much learning, through Zoom and everything as much as everyone else is, but it so necessary. And like you said, it's like, because it's so deliberate, it's like, why do they have to go through that? Like they take the time to actually perform that. Oh man, that really is, yeah.
I agree. And they have, because why does the KKK, why did they do what they did? Why does any hate group feel justified in doing what they do? Because they're justified, because they feel as though God is on their side. They feel like the highest power that they can imagine has their back in doing this, because they feel like they're eliminating a disease, a disease that is threatening the purity of the people enacting this violence. Because to them, it's not violence; it is moral righteousness.
Yeah.
And so that's what's just being justified in their heads, So we see it as inhumanity. They see it as complete humanity, protecting the real humanity, which is them and what falls under their ballpark of humanity.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really interesting way of looking at it. Yeah.
I mean, that's how most, how would you frame it? Conflict, or how most sort of like big picture conflicts go, that one group feels justified in God or something. They are the morally righteous ones. And when you've gotten that, like, corroding your core, or clutching your core, it's kind of hard to think of anything else, because like that's the only truth you got. And
exactly.
That's not the truth, then you have no other truth. That's what you believe. And then, like, what's the point of living? So you're gonna clutch into this truth and continue to like kill people or do whatever, because that's all you know.
Yeah, absolutely.